Hello everyone! I was holding off on a video today because I knew today was TFCon's third-party slideshow panel, and I never talk third-party on this channel because I think I made it clear in the past. I'm not a big fan on infringing on Hasbro and Takara's IP for the sake of, capitalizing on what they don't do. I'm not a fan of how expensive those toys get away with being because, it's a super low run figure. But as the years have gone by and I've seen third party doing different things Hasbro would never do, making different design spins on classic characters, things that don't really get in the way or like do what Hasbro won't, because Hasbro does pretty much anything these days. I'm seeing more originality in third party. I'm seeing more different directions that make me go, you know what? Okay, I'll give you a shot here, and we'll actually pay attention to you from time to time. And once in a while, things come up in third party that, yeah, actually look pretty nice. So let's take a look. So I've got the slideshow up from TFCon. These are the slides on TFW 2005. So let's just take a look and we will see what exactly was announced as far as third party goes in the realm of Transformers. Moon Studio starts us off, and they start off with, "That's no moon. That is Cybertron. That is a whole Cybertron right there." Next slide shows us, yeah, so comes with a full stand. So you don't have, so it's not just like a big, tech-agreeable ball. It actually does float a little bit. When we look at it in the robot mode, you can start seeing the elements of Primus, and it's an interesting take because it is somewhat designed after Cybertron Primus, as you would kind of expect. It's the only official Primus that exists, but also, well, I mean, outside of the Takara repaint one, I think eHobby did. But that was a G1 Rodimus repaint, and you can actually see that here. So in the Marvel Comics, Primus, when they went into like the depths of Cybertron, they found like Primus, like a face, a vestige of Primus, and it looks like Rodimus because Rodimus is the chosen one. So all right, so he literally made Rodimus in his own image, as it were. So it actually does have that head from the Marvel Comics. So this looks like Primus. This also looks like Rodimus Prime's final form. This is the this is Rodimus Prime, Ultra Instinct, or Super Saiyan 4, depending on which continuity you follow. So it looks fun. It looks interesting. I don't have like information from the panel to actually like hear like the details of this. I don't know how big it is. Actually, let me check really quick. Yeah, there's no information on this one. I think Moon Studios already did Unicron. I think that was their thing, so I assume it's at the same scale as that. So it's definitely not in scale with the HasLab. But it's a cool one to see. I'm going to be interested to see this thing in physical and see how much it ends up costing. I may or may not be interested in that one. So keep an eye on it. Iron Factory has been doing cool things. Iron Factory is in that realm of like that we're doing our own thing now instead of just copying G1 dead on. You see, we have this samurai inspired line that they have been doing with various characters that fit the aesthetic, and it's an interesting group. You've got a dark take on Lio Convoy. You've got G1 Cyclonus. You've got Movie Drift, strangely enough, and then you got Animated Lockdown, who I think is the one we're focusing on. Yeah. So, Oni Vajra. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, it's a take on Animated Lockdown. So, as we saw with this picture, super tall. That's correct for Lockdown. Does have some samurai armor inspired aesthetics to him, looking really, really cool. I love the hat. You actually have like an optional hat for him. That's actually a nice little touch. So it gives you that style. You get to choose what kind of style you go for with your samurai. I love the modular right hand because I've seen you can see it as a hook. You can see it just with just a normal hand to hold a sword. Or here, yeah, he actually has like he has a chain with his hook. So that's actually really cool to do. Keep in mind, this is Iron Factory, so these are pretty small size figures. So to work in this level of detail and engineering is really impressive. Like the viciousness of the vehicle mode too. Lots of horns, lots of spikes going on. Very, very lockdown. This is proper lockdown. I think their Grimlock is definitely the one people were buzzing about the most, and they have been for a while now. Grimlock continues to look exceptionally cool, you know, with his war flags hanging off, all the extra spikes and armor on him looking super nice. All right, New Age. New Age is like for pocket scale, New Age has some of the most clever engineering I've ever seen. So their offerings are always interesting, but they are still in that very much that G1 aesthetic and doing the G1 characters. They haven't really branched out too much into like, you know, uniqueness. So their Shockwave does look really good. Really clean Shockwave, really nice gun mode. Kind of interested to see how those legs become that handle, because that doesn't look like it should work, but it does. So that's really good. I'm like looking back and forth. That's actually really good. I'm not entirely sure how that works, and that's ideal. They've got their own take on RC as well. And this one is also, like I said, they are super impressive. You see how low profile the back kibble is for RC. It looks pretty, it looks a lot cleaner, a lot more compact than a lot of what Hasbro's been doing with RC lately. Points off for this pose, by the way. Oh, she's the girl, remember. She has the visor from the movie, which is cool. And then we get this vehicle mode, which again, take a look at how little backpack she's got going on there. And then there's the vehicle mode. Where did all that come from? Where did all those vehicle panels come from? I don't even see half of that on her. It looks like it's a separate part that comes off. It looks like they did what Hasbro did. But they show you the part breakdown. It doesn't show that. Like, I'm genuinely confused. Like, it doesn't look like it should have that much going on, but somehow it does. And, like, it's really surprising. So I'm really curious to see this one in hand or get more photos of it, because it feels like half of her vehicle's missing from this shot. And I'm not sure where it went, because there's part of me that refuses to believe it's all folded up onto her back right now. Because if it is, like, then they've officially done way better than Hasbro's ever done. Yeah, see, look at that. Like, I can see a good chunk of it. I just can't see all of it. Does the rest of that really just fold up into her back? Is in her chest? Is that really where the rest of it is? Jeez, yeah, I need to see more of that. All right, Fans Hobbies got some offerings for us too. This is different. So they're doing a modular base system, similar to the mechanical chain bases that I used to build and do all my review stuff on. So yeah, like you can see, it's basically just build your own base. So you can have computers and platforms for characters to stand on and work at. So it gives it a little bit of personality. Like if you just got like a desk setup, or if you want to build it into like a shelf, it really does give like a new life to your displays. It's really, really cool. And yeah, really good for people like me who need backdrops for photos and reviews. How modular this is, or how well it functions and how much you can do with it, that's always the question. And we've only got this one shot, this one configuration, so I'm not sure how much it does. Co-created with Fext Hobby, Fext System. I don't know what the Fext System is. But if there's existing parts, if there's existing base setups like this that it's compatible with, that's a really good first start. They need to be in the same color. Don't know if they are or not. But cool that it exists. And yeah, always looking for... It depends on price. Because it always depends. Because usually you need especially for third-party figures that tend to be Voyager leader sizes. Like, you need big sets to display them. So I'm really curious what the price of this is going to be and how expensive it's going to get. They got some small-scale stuff in part of it too, though. Like, that's actually a new little twist. I like that. All right, they're also putting out their Energy Commander, their Energon Optimus Prime redo. They're the same company that did Naval Commander, the Armada Optimus redo. It does look good. Like, the combined mode looks good. So, personally for me, Energon Optimus Prime doesn't need that much improving upon. It was a plastic addict toy, admittedly, but it's also one of those toys I was a little bit unfair to, because it is not actually all that bad. I just think the engineering on it is way too simple, and there's a lot of elements to it that just feel like they could have been doing a lot more. This does do more. I will give it that, because there's actually some interesting things this does. It's not shown off here, but I like how the trailer itself is modular, so you can rearrange it to be like a wide base or a tall base. Like, it's different, and it gives it a little bit more playability and functionality. And yes, the Optimus Prime unit does look a lot better than the original Energon toy did. It's still not my preferential Optimus Prime, but it's an improvement over that one. So I want to see this one in hand. I want to see this in hand instead of all these like hand-painted protos and all this. They're doing Double Dealer, and there's a weird twist to this, and I kind of like it. So it looks like a standard Double Dealer, but the vehicle mode does have some differences to it. This is a rare time when a third-party company is actually defying the original G1 aesthetic while still trying to make it the G1 character in order to do something different. And in this case, they've added this big box section to the back of Double Dealer's vehicle mode because that's where all the Condor wings are. Because there's a second robot mode to this toy, an alternate head, or at the very least a transformation of the original head that actually has this, more Condor-like aspect to it. It's an interesting twist. So, and then, yeah, like the wings coming off, which is kind of like a Decepticon style design. So it's kind of giving Double Dealer a Decepticon form in robot mode, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. If Double Dealer is supposed to be playing both sides, it doesn't really make sense that, like the vehicle mode is the neutral design, and then he's an Autobot in robot mode, and in Vulture mode or Condor mode, he is a Decepticon. Like that's the mode he does all his Decepticon business in. This is a better idea. I really like this. And yeah, the Condor mode does what the Condor mode always does. It just looks like a big fat bird with a truck for a butt. That's all it's ever going to be. But for what it is, it's not a bad take on that. And then we have Darkwing and Dreadwind are getting a new set of figures from the same company. They're just raw prototypes here. They show off the combining gimmick so they can do the G1 thing. That's pretty much all we got for them. So nothing really to talk about in that realm. Planet X. Planet X has one thing it does. It just really likes doing War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron designs, which are kind of what some people are talking about again. Interesting timing. So they showed off their version of Snarl, who's looking as powerful and imposing as Snarl always tends to do. Yeah, he looks good. He looks as good as any of their other Dinobots. No big shock there. I think what's cooler, if we get to like the end of this little presentation, I'm letting you guys see it for a little bit. Okay, Stegosaurus mode looking really good. I like the energy plates. And traditionally they're gold, but that gives it kind of that look of like how he absorbs energy, which is part of his fiction. So yeah, looking really good. This is what interests me more. They already went ahead and showed off the G2 color schemes, which is all red and kind of a teal green, kind of a seafoam green color, which was another one of the G2 options for Snarl. I have a deep connection to G2 Snarl. I had that as a kid. I loaned it to a friend of mine. He broke it, and then instead of his mom paying for the broken toy, which is, what you should be doing, she just glued it together and gave it back to me. And of course, she glued it in a way where it could only exist in beast mode from then on. So I lost that toy uh, due to someone else's accident, and they never properly compensated for that. That's she was not the that mom was not the best person as I think back to her. She always seemed like upset that her kids had friends. You know, uh, personal aside, personal stories aside, like so I really like G2 Snarl. He does just look like a red dipped Snarl, but I always have a soft spot for him. I do think I like the beast mode colors better. The black the black fins are I think are a little bit more intimidating. And do we show off the green one? Yeah, we do. Okay, so there we got the green as well. Look at very Christmassy in these colors, I think. This is a good holiday release, I think. Yeah, he's festive. He's just straight up Christmas cheer. As cheery as a Dinobot can be. Let's put it that way. So I do like this color scheme too. This again, these are running on the more expensive side because these are bigger figures, so it's not something I think I'm going to dive into, even if I do like G2 Snarl, but, it's nice that they exist. This is the kind of thing I just kind of like enjoying from a distance. Let's see. They showed off their Victory Leo combined with their, Star Saber. I believe their Star Saber is the IDW designed one. It's been a while since I looked at it. I can't remember. They went with more gold than yellow, which I think is a good choice. That also fits the aesthetic of their other toys better because they do tend to go with metallics for coloring. And yeah, as a Victory Leo, looking really, really good. Okay, yeah, there's some IDW to that Star Saber. All right, that's fair. Okay, so yeah, nice pair. I don't think, yeah, okay, they show them combined. Oh, right. I remember seeing the protos of this. I actually really liked this because it's using the combination parts so differently. I've told you this in the past. My big issue with combining characters when they do this, like when a character becomes a super mode for another character, they tend, especially in like the 80s and 90s, they tend to just form like boots and a backpack, and there's not much visual change to the front of the robot. I do like how Saber is completely removed and part of Victory Leo's replaced him. That creates a very different aesthetic and plays with the play pattern a little bit better. I like the extra bulk on the sides of the arms, and I do like all the extra weaponry. That I think is actually really cool. Not enough to get me to drop a lot of money to get a hold of the pair, but it is a really cool take on the the Victory Saber play pattern. So that part I like. Also, it avoids him becoming like super back heavy, which would be a really bad thing. All right. Let's see what Fans Toys is doing these days. All right, Parkour. Good alternate name for Cliff Jumper, by the way. Like that name. Looking very cartoon accurate, even with a tiny car top for his chest. That's actually like really looking nice. Good articulation. And again, we're kind of in the G1 vein here, so like my interest here like immediately like wanes. I'm much more interested in the companies doing like original things or original design twists. I do love how accurate it all is in every mode, and the doors still open. That's actually really, really impressive. And it's actually quite a bit smaller than their other mini-bot offerings, so really good. Power Glide, which they're really literally just naming Warthog. Also looking really good. Love how cartoon accurate he is. Yeah, he is forming the appropriate vehicle mode and looking really, really good as it. And they made him big. So you can tell, like, with his wingspan, he's coming out as big as their Seekers, but he's such a slender design that he's going to be a smaller robot, which is a really smart way of engineering Power Glide. So he gets that mini bot aspect across and still has like a proper looking robot or proper looking jet mode. I also love that they included the heart in the chest too. That's a nice character. That's a nice character trait they threw in. Yeah, really, really nice. All right, their take on Blaster, again, straight up G1. I don't think I've ever seen anyone go with a gold chrome chest on Blaster. You know, the extra flash definitely is to his personality, but it definitely doesn't look exactly right. Like the big speaker hands he comes with. Oh, yeah, he comes with a toy accurate head, too. It just looked evil for a second. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, yeah. The robot mode. Yeah, the toy accurate head definitely looks way more evil. Interesting design choice, but okay, we'll let you go with it. So yeah, another decent looking G1 offering. We got the extra cassettes for him too. Yeah, and we saw the pipes earlier too. So pipes kind of falling in a similar vein. Very metallic in the right spots since that's supposed to be growing. Oh, coming with a transformation cog's a nice touch. That's actually like an accessory that you could have done with wheelie or blur or pipes at any given time. So the fact that it took a third party company this long to do it, kind of surprising. You know, and they didn't even Hasbro hadn't done a transformation cog part. I also like how many different alternate faces he's coming with, so you can match whatever version of the character you're used to, toy accurate, cartoon accurate, or the random the off model that was just a repaint of Huffer overseas. Really nice mix. All right, ToyEasy. This doesn't look easy. ToyEasy is a company that is doing 100% original design, starting with this frickin' battleship that uses its display base as a big shield. This looks so good. Again, I'm getting way more into this than the G1 stuff because it's different. And it's not only aesthetically different because they're using different characters, because they're using original characters, but the fact that they are also throwing in vehicle modes that we don't normally get. It's a battleship, a proper battleship, and it looks awesome. Love it. My only criticism here is that all of the red from the battleship ends up on the back, and I really wish there was some kind of rotation so some of that comes through on the front. As it is, the only parts that are really going to show red in most positions is going to be those fins on the head. That would probably be my only critique of this that I would like give it any kind of hassle for. Otherwise, I really like what it's doing. And again, it's 100% original. You know, I have no like moral qualms over this. It's just a really good looking robot that's doing something that current Transformers don't do. Hasbro, for whatever reason, completely avoids aquatic vehicle modes at all costs. I think because they don't want kids throwing their toys in the tub. I think that's pretty much what it comes down to. You can see the detailed shots here. This might be, yeah, this is a different design. This is a different figure. A lot more red in this one. Yep, and we got the prototype. This one actually has a lot of samurai aesthetic to it. It's interesting to see all the, like, samurai armor hanging off of him, and then like instead of like all these frills of design, you just have guns, and you just have more and more cannons. Yeah, looking super cool though. Super cool. I love the dark red and the gunmetal. It's a very dark, cool color scheme. Really like it. The hits of gold are going to look super nice. This one I could see myself going for. This one hits a lot of my aesthetics in the right spot. All right, Dr. Wu, firmly in the G1, turning a RC design into an Elita 1. Hey, we've seen that before. You know, that's not a bad looking Elita 1, but you can definitely tell it used to be an RC. So, you know, I like that even Hasbro is starting to get to the point where Elita 1 and RC are two separate molds now. I could definitely use that a little bit more often than we actually get. All right, and then Mastermind Creation. There's something about the War Within designs that just never go away. You know, and that's not a bad thing because they're really cool designs. So, one more attempt at Optimus Prime. Looking really nice, as you know, he usually does look nice, but these come down to execution more than anything. But yeah, looking really solid, as that Optimus Prime should look. This is hysterical. So I missed out when they did when they did this sculpt as like a female Tarn, I kind of wanted that one, but I couldn't justify the price at the time, and I think it's just all sold out everywhere now. The fact that it's being redone as a gender-bent Armada Megatron is hysterical. Like that's actually kind of hilarious. And yeah, I would, if my Armada love was a little bit stronger, I think I would go for that, just on the sheer like what was that kind of like instinct. But the fact that they're even doing it, I think is great. Like it's fun. It's them having fun. And that's it. As you can tell by the very detailed hand-drawn graphic card at the end, that is the end of the slideshow. There is stuff there that I would definitely be into. I keep meaning to, like, I kind of still want to get those samurai design figures from Iron Factory a little bit more, especially that Grimlock that looks really good. And yeah, those battleships. Those battleships are like, God, man, that one in the middle, like the red and gunmetal one is just like so up my alley. That is so much what I would love to grab a hold of. Price prohibitive, of course. Like we'll see how much that comes out to when it's officially revealed and up for pre-order. But that's the third-party panel. That's what third-party companies are working on these days. It's actually a lot less than there usually is. I remember past TFCons where it's like, you know, you're going through 20-odd companies trying to get all of them out. So we pared it down. So, like, the good ones are still around, a few more upstarts, but yeah, it's definitely more refined than it used to be. So thank you guys for joining me. Let me know in the comments below which one you're looking forward to, and I will see you on the next video. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.